Okay, hello everybody. I need to do an introduction of introduction. So, for those that do not know me, I'm Esteban Lorenzano and I work for the Pharo consortium. I have been working in Pharo directly in the Pharo team from the last 14 years. This is a lot of time and sometimes it feels like an old marriage. But it is an old marriage, but since we are all joined by this passion, which is doing Pharo, at the end we overcome our little problems and we try all together to make some Pharo better. And I've been doing Pharo last 14 years directly, but I started even before. And you remember in the first issue I did, I presented in 2009. I'm starting to be an old guy. I presented something that we called Mars, which was about improving the user interface of Pharo, and everything started to develop there. And this is kind of a conclusion work. I developed a lot of things to improve the UI, and at the end, I realized that in fact, what I need is a new Pharo IDE entirely to be able to implement certain things that I have learned in the last 14 years, and other stuff, and to apply different things that we develop for Pharo in this time. So yes, as you see, I'm doing a new Pharo IDE. This is bad slide. Here it looks cool, but okay. It's a new Pharo IDE that should. I'm sorry for the slide. Okay, it's a projection. It's a projection problem. It's a new Pharo IDE that it should be focused on coding because that's what we do, and it should preserve all the things that are good in the current Pharo IDE, because we have a lot of things. It's a lot of experience accumulated there. It's a lot of power inserted them, but trying to fix the frictions that we have right now, that we have seen right now. An IDE that finally helps the programmer to become a power user. What do I mean by a power user? A power user is not knowing strange shortcuts, Control T plus left, right, then that will happen something. It's not like that. It's being able to choke your IDE enough to actually get more capable ways of working. So become productive with your IDE. So as I say, it's an IDE with coding first, because code is where we start and where we end. We do a lot of things, but our purpose is if it is a new project or a maintenance project, what we are doing is looking to the place where we do need to apply a change or construct something. So coding is an essential task, and I embrace the fact that we write code. But since knowing where to apply the change is also a historic construction, you create paths, and you find things. This has to be there has to be ways to preserve that context, that information that is very useful to create a mental map of what you are doing. And the tools that we provide also need to be easy to discover, but they do not have to be in the middle of you. It does not have to be weight. It has not to be always present, but it has to be easy to discover, and then easy to put in your memory, muscular memory, muscle memory, so you can repeat it faster later and incorporate it to your workflow. So at the end, power is a design problem. It's not an emerging thing. You need to design for that. And that's what I'm trying to do. Let's take a quick look for Pulsar. This is how it looks in a, because we programmers tend to use dark modes. This is how it looks, but for the sake of the audience, I'm going to switch to the light theme, because I don't know which one looks better or not. You tell me. It's not very visible, sadly, but okay, it looks very good. But remember, you do not need to check now what is that. I'm going to go later there. But remember more or less the structure, because the structure is kind of a familiar structure, and it's on purpose. This is the coding loop is always in the center, and if you see here, here is Eclipse, and here is IntelliJ. And both propose more or less the same structure. And why is this? Because since you are focused there in the task, your peripheral view gives you context at the size, but it keeps the content of your work always in the center. And that's the idea. And familiar is very important precisely because once the brain incorporates what is familiar for them, it's background task and it's not a heavy burden. You are not fighting that. So, but as I say, this is our design pressures that I have. We need to hold the scene because the current browser that we have is excellent and gives us of context. It gives us different information that we need, but we need also to hold the complete scene, the historic of what we look for, what we advance, how we move to the things, how we do everything. And what I propose here, I don't know if it's going to be seen. No, clearly no. But okay, this is the IDE. What you see here, blur, is an IDE. And there are things that here. This is the code at the center. And at the left, we have different panels that gives you a general structure of where we are. You have a panel view, a project view, that shows you the project, which is the context, which is the scope that we define. We have a stack list of all the editors that we have open. They are, of course, grouped here, but you have here, and you can group them, see them in different ways, in the order that you add them or in the order that you last seen, so you can see the historic of your investigation. And you have the repositories here. Then at the right side, we have the class structure that gives you the context of the switches. And at the bottom, you have some utility panels like the Flags browser, the critics, and some playgrounds if you want, terminals, whatever you want to add there. Of course, this is a proposal because you can switch them and arrange them as you want, and it will remember that layout, the layout that you create yourself. But this is a layout that I'm proposing because I find it that is familiar and good. The other thing is, once you have this, you have to explore. And exploring is complicated because you usually let a lot of pollution there. I call that exploring pollution because you open message browsers, you open inspectors, you open a lot of things that you need them, but then they stay there. You do not need them all the time. You need to find something, but then you want to dispose easily. So those tools need to be, and they are in this IDE, easy to get, because you have control and you have all the things, but to get them, they are exposed as popovers, and then you can keep them in the way you want by just choosing stuff. But it's your decision to keep them. The other pressure that we have is that the whole image is not a meaningful starting point. If you remember, some of you will remember, some of you will know by reading the books that Steph put in the compendium. The first Smalltalk had 223 classes. That was all. Everything was there. A vanilla Pharo 14 image has 12,000 classes. So obviously the the list of packages and classes cannot be a meaningful starting point. In fact, if you see in your browser, you open the browser, and the first thing that you see is some package related to AST, because it's sorted alphabetically. It starts with A, so you see that. That cannot be a meaningful. So what we propose for that is this project pane that that basically we have an abstraction to sort the projects, which is the baselines. We define our projects there in a baseline. So we take that as a project, and you can open them. You can open more than one at a time, because sometimes you work in more than one project at a time. But that will be the scope. That will define the scope of your search, because the idea is that when you search something, it will sort by the scoped context first, and then the rest. And of course, since we cannot ask a person to create a baseline just to start to do a hello world, we have the concept of volatile projects, which is a project that you ask there, and you can add package there, create package, and work there without fast, without needing to create that. And the idea is in the future being able to save that and create the baseline from that. But if you want, but if not, you can quickly prototype. We even propose a sandbox project, volatile project and package. It's not seen, but the logo, the icon is in different colors, so it's identifiable, and that you can quickly start to use. And the last pressure that I have is that, in fact, we have to compose our tools in meaningful ways. It has to, our mental memory has to be the faster to achieve possible. We need to reduce the mental effort to get a tool working. So they need to replicate the same metaphor all the time inside. But there is also another problem, and the problem is that we in Smalltalk we inherit this idea of a full machine. That in fact there should not be an operating system, and because Smalltalk should be enough. And in fact, the first machines were like that. But sadly, that's not the world we live on. Our projects are compendiums or things that are in the image, are outside the image. Images, resources, whatever you want, templates, things. And we need to be able to actually compose that together. Here it does not see, but for example, one thing that I added recently to Iceberg is going to be in Pharo 15, and it's here already experimentally, is that you keep track also in the Iceberg, you keep track also of external files, so you can commit together, because I got super tired of needing to do 2 commits for something that is just one thing that should be together. And then so the idea is that you can fast move from outside and inside, and that's kind of a redefinition of the IDE term. It's integrated desktop environment, but it's integrated also with the system. It's not just integrated with the tools inside. That's the idea. So now I have a small demo, but since I was informed yesterday by Olex that the projector was not the best of things, what I did is yesterday I copied something that James teach me, and I record a video to show it. I stayed until 2 a.m. for this, so it's not going to do, and I'm going to do my best to explain, like be a relator of the thing while they appear. I'm not going to be so as good as James, because James is very good at this, but okay. So the task is fix a bug on Pharo SIG. Because Pharo SIG is a C++ to Pharo binding generator. There is a talk tomorrow. There is an interesting story why there is a talk tomorrow. Because I told Steph, when I saw the schedule, I say, but do not put me the first day, because I hate that moment, because I still not speed up in the conference. I do not know how to do. I I think my sweet spots are the second and third day. And he said, okay, you can have also a talk the second and third day. So now I have 3 talks. And this is the one of tomorrow. So I'm not going to enter into details, but basically what it does is takes the information of the headers and it creates a bindings package so you can use it from Pharo, C libraries. And I found this bug, which is a real bug, something that was really failing, but I was looking for something to do in the demo. And theoretically, if this is okay, there should be starting in any moment. Otherwise, I need to restart it. Yes, it's starting now. Yeah, okay. First I do is to add the project to my repository list by just checking it and open. That's like the iceberg. And then normally you should install it with Metacello, but I made a new component, but it's clear in my opinion. I'm not doing it that because I already have it. And then for working, I could use the sandbox or a volatile, or I can add the project. So what I'm going to do now is to add the project. So you open the project, you have the list of all the projects. Maybe we need to filter the system projects out because most people use their own projects, not the ones of the system, but for now we have everything. We open, and as you can see, you have there the list of packages and that, which defines the scope. I'm going to find the class where we had to apply the fix, which is, I know what it is because it's reported, so I check it, and I can come here and execute the test. The test will take a couple of seconds because this is very complicated, but then this changes the colors of the result. You do not see it, and you have a result. And we can start. We see that effectively this is actually broken, which is the test that we do, and we can open them. I could continue working this, but this is a different activity. I will open a test runner to do it, and the test runner opens there and opens directly here. And then you can do. This is early work, so there is still things that are not completed, but then you see the result there. The result we can check, and then we start to see. We can, of course, this is a browser complete, so you can open methods, you can do whatever you want here, you can continue working, and that's what we are going to do. But then we execute that, and we are going to start to debug. So we run it, and we debug this, and we see that it's a compilation error. So we try to check where the compilation error happens. Yeah. So, okay, let's start in the stack. The stack is in left, but you can move it whatever you want. You can put it on top if you prefer the old style, and it will remember that. So, and there we see we have a template there, and we see that it has to be the template the problem because it's a compilation error, so something is bad there. So I have an inspection. Nobody can see anything, but you have a pop over there. That's not my fault. That's the projector fault. And then, okay, I will keep the inspector attached here because I just want to see what is, and let's see what happens. The only thing that can happen is that this class is not existing because we changed the compiler, and the default is not anymore accepting non-defined classes. It throws an error. So, and effectively, as we see, I check in the spotter that, and we have a package with that name, but we do not have a class. So we need to add it. And then we go to the place. I try to speed up this to get less time, but I'm not sure how it's working. Okay, so let's see where we call normally the add FFI trait. And we see I have a message list, and I check that this is how it is, so I need to add a library basically. So we just add it. And it's going to add it, and then we restart. Of course, we need to declare it. Voila. completion, everything. Since this is all okay, I have a debugger because there is still a pool class, a shared pool that is absent. So we need to fix that too. And I'm going to, in fact, what I'm going to do is then copy everything, not just the FFI library. I'm going to copy all the preparation to add the trait because there are missing things that before it was possible to have with undeclared, but now it's not. So we add everything. That should work, but since I was doing yesterday that at 2 a.m., I will have an error, so I will have another debugger. We'll see, you will see. It was 2 a.m. for real. So I check that. I edit everything. Voila. The nice thing of having a video is that I can do stupid comments while I'm not typing, which is cool. Videos are good. And then, okay, I'm going to close this and I'm going to go to check to the test runner directly because I thought that I was going to get a green, but it's not. It's an error because I'm stupid. And then I fix that and then I will have the green. Which is this, I put visitor instead unit there because I was copy pasting stuff. I can restart and resume, but again. So, and yes, it's green. So, well, we fixed the bug. But that is not finished because right now I need to dispose this. I call this perspectives or activities because you can have a whole IDE complete but focus in test running or in debugging or whatever. And then you dispose this and you open another activity which is committing. For me, it's a complete activity because then you review code, you maybe apply some refactors or something there because you are looking what you did and you need to clean up. This is the Boy Scout principle. Everything should be cleaner than before. And then, okay, I have this. I will create. This is the change that I have. It is. They have colors. You know the change, but you are not seeing them because it's the projected quality. But I create a branch there and I commit. And I just commit. Fix, blah, blah, blah. This is a real issue, so I fix it. I will later do the pull request, but not in the demo. And I fix it. This is an automatic deprecation rule, so I just commit it too because it's okay. And that's all. Then normally then you do the pull request, you push and you do the pull request, and that is it. That's it. And okay, so I will be presenting Pulsar in the awards. So as you were not able to see that, 22 minutes. So I have 8 minutes. You can take it down and I can be short. Yes, in fact, I missed a slide. The projector cut a slide that before, but okay. That is not a problem. Okay, I will be presenting this in the awards, so you can visit the table and get help to install it and to play with it. It's very easy and have fun with it. And so what I want from you is to use it, to contribute to it, and I want to know what can makes you think I want to use this. So use it, break it, improve it, and you can flash it here.